We've gotten so lazy as a society. We're so undisciplined as a society. We're so unknowledgeable as a society, uneducated as a society.
Run of the rats like I want them. Count up the red, we gon' want them. Carrots, I want them opponents. Clarity beats, I see water. Talking cash out when I want them.
Good day, everybody. September 16th. Thank you for joining the Hope Dealer Podcast Productions. Hey, I just wanted to stop in today real quick and talk to you guys about something that it's something I push in my household, is fitness. Fitness is for everybody in my house, okay? And it's childhood obesity. Let's talk about this, guys. And I'm not going to get into, I don't have any stats today. I didn't want, maybe at a later date I can get into scientific stuff and actually back some stuff up. But today I just really want to talk about the issue and maybe some of the things that we could be doing to correct some of these issues. And maybe some of the impact that this stuff is actually having long-term on our youth and they turn into adults. And so yeah, let's get into it. First off, my son, 9 years old, exercises daily. Okay, and he doesn't go to the gym. We're not lifting. He's not old enough, but he goes on runs. We do road work. He stretches, goes on walks. Okay. I think it's mightily important to develop that habit in your kids. Develop the habit of paying attention to your body, understanding you need to make sure you're moving it every day. As he gets older, we'll get into the gym. Okay, we'll do all the manly stuff as he gets older, but he's just not at an age where he can do that stuff right now. So why do I bring this up? Why do I even care? Well, when I say obesity, I hope you guys understand, I'm not talking about when you look at somebody and they're, overweight, 250, 300, 350 pounds. I'm not, they are included. But guys, I was 160 pounds and 36% body fat at one time in my life. That's insane. That's obese. That's more fat than a pig would have on its body. Legitimately. And actually, there's a number out there that says the average body fat on a pig is actually less than the average body fat on a United States American. So, I talk mind, body, and spirit. Talk about it a lot. Talk about it daily. And I'm not going to stop. It's mightily important, guys. You got to invest in yourself. You got to invest in your body. Invest in your mind. Invest in your spirit. You need to be doing this stuff for your kids so they can see it. So you're setting that example. Get them off their damn phone. Put the tablet down. Get them away from the TV. Turn it off. We don't, there's nothing wrong with watching a TV show. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot wrong with it when that's all you're doing all day. There's a lot wrong with that. And as a parent, you should never allow your children to do that. And even as a parent, you shouldn't be doing that either. You need to be setting the example, and then also not allowing that to go on. Because here's the reality, and this goes into leadership, guys. Parenting, leadership, marriage, life, it doesn't matter. Ready? It's not what you preach. It's what you tolerate. One more time. It's not what you preach. It is what you tolerate. So you can preach this stuff all day long to your kids, but until they start seeing you follow through with it and you not allowing them to slip, you're not going to notice a difference. You're going to be all talk, no walk. That's what that looks like. And this childhood obesity thing, guys, it's an issue in this country. And when you travel to these other countries, I'm not talking third world. I'm talking vacation spots. I'm talking about Europe specifically. You go over there, look at their kids. They don't have the same problems. Now, it's an onion. There's layers to this. Part of the problem we have here is our parenting is way different than their parenting. They're all about discipline, and especially specifically Europe. And I think it's probably pretty safe to say that Europe has passed this country in a lot of ways. I hate to say that. I'm a patriot. I don't want it to look like that, but I'm also realistic and I understand where we are as a country. And we've slipped in some areas. We have. It's just a reality, okay? You go look at their kids. They don't look like our kids. If you go watch their kids, they don't behave like our kids. Well, where am I getting this information? Oh, I've been over there, and I'm actually getting ready to go back. I leave for Italy in, I don't know, like a month. I'll be over there for like 3 weeks. I go over there, see these people. I'm not watching a video. Guys, I'll tell you if I'm talking on something, it's because I know what I'm talking about. I refuse to come on here and just speak blindly into this microphone. Will not do it. If I'm not confident, I could sit down and actually back myself up. I'm not going to mention it. Okay? So I'm talking on these topics. I'm very educated on this stuff, guys. And that's why I'm here. Because I also live the other way. I didn't realize this stuff. And I had somebody explain it to me, and I've had other people and experiences, and I'm like, holy cow, it opened my eyes. And that's all this is. Hopefully it opened your guys' eyes. I'm not sitting on a pedestal and talking down to you. I'm just speaking directly at you. I try really, really hard to make sure this camera is at the right angle so it's the right message, because I don't want you guys to view this as me talking down to you guys. I take my own advice daily. Okay? Now, when I make these videos, I go watch them because I need to hear it too. And I practice what I preach. I do. I'm a man of my word. I do. But it also, you have to constantly keep these thoughts in your mind. Keep the wheel spinning. Keep it going. Keep it moving. And so, when I go to these countries like Europe, the parents behave differently. They discipline their kids. The work ethic is different. The demand from their kids is different. The education is completely different. It's set up completely different. Their styles of teaching are completely different. Their vaccination requirements are completely different. The stuff they're putting in their food is completely different. And when you go look at the stats on cancer and obesity and stuff like that, man, it's not even close. And again, I came here today without numbers on purpose. I would love to, because I know some of these numbers, but that's not what I'm here for. Right here, I'm just going to gloss over it because it's an issue, guys. It is. And I'm not trying to bash anybody. If you're obese, I'm not bashing you. I'm not. I was obese. In my own way, I was obese. So I get it. I was obese because I didn't know. And I played basketball a couple times a week, and you would have classified me as an active person. Hunting, fishing, playing basketball. I was an outdoors person. But I was 36% body fat. Because I wasn't paying attention to anything I was putting in my body. Wasn't paying attention to how many times I was eating, when I was eating, what time I was eating, what my sleep schedule looked like. I had no fitness plan. I was winging it. Literally I was relying on faith and genetics. And more genetics than faith at that time, unfortunately. And honestly, I think there's a lot of people out there that are like that. And I don't think they want to be like that. I'd like to think they don't want to be. I just like to think that maybe they haven't had some of the people that I've had in my life to come like, hey man, have you looked at it this way? Have you thought of it this way? How much time have you invested into yourself? And then the next question is always, well, why? It's hard to explain to somebody why you don't even care about your own self. That's a hard explanation. So this isn't to bash anybody, guys. This is just to help everybody. I'm very adamant daily, and my son would tell you, I'm very adamant daily. You get up and you move. Okay, I'm not going to time your workout. I'm not going to make you do push-ups and, I do make him do stuff like that, but I'm not going to take him to the gym. I'm not going to make him do pull-ups and bench press and squat. He's just not old enough. That's idiotic. Okay, that's not what this is promoting. That's not what I'm telling you to go do. I am just telling you to get your kid off the damn couch and make him move. And explain to him why you're doing it. Like, hey, I'm doing this for you. And you need to look at it as this is an investment in yourself, and have that conversation. You have one body. You get one opportunity with this. Okay? Luckily, our bodies are pretty resilient. You can damage this thing for a while. This thing's not going to quit for a while. If you're lucky. And there are some people that they don't get this luxury. And I've had a family member that never had a day of what it would look like in healthy shoes. Just never got to experience that, guys. There's a lot of people like that. And I make sure my son understands that too. Just on the way to school today, I was explaining to him, how he needs to be blessed that he can even walk. That there's kids his age that are never going to have the opportunity to walk. And we just take little things like that for granted. And he actually came home today, and he told me, he's like, Dad, after lunch, I went to the bathroom and I prayed. I'm like, good for you, man. Good. You know, he's a product of his environment, because he sees me doing stuff like that. He hears me pray. He hears what I'm praying for. He hears why I'm praying. And now, and I tell him this, and maybe I'm wrong, and I think a lot of Christians would probably attack me for this, and I'm okay with that. But I will never push my religion on my son. I'm not. I will educate him the best of my ability on why I'm doing what I'm doing, and some of the paths that I took, and where I went wrong, and how I felt I corrected them. But at the end of the day, that's his choice. You know, I'm not going to be one of those parents that goes and baptizes my kid when he's 4 years old, 5 years old. Because I just don't feel like, you know, he's his own person. He can make those decisions for himself. It's my job as his parent to guide him. It's my job as a parent to have the biggest and most positive influence on him as I possibly can. But it is not my job as a parent to force feed him my beliefs and say, well, man, this is right. Sorry. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. And I see it all the time. I do. I see it all the time. And I don't never agree with that stance. I will never push my Christianity on my son. Now, he's going to see me praise, and hear me praise, and see me study. And naturally, he loves me and wants to be like me. And so he's going to follow suit. But that is his own choice. And if he gets older and decides he wants to go do something different, that's his own choice. I would just hope I've instilled enough as his father and invested enough in him that he's going to make, you know, intelligent decisions. He's going to be strategic. He's going to be calculated. He's going to understand. He's going to ask questions. And as long as he's doing that, then I'm going to be proud of him, regardless. And I know a lot of people, because I know the biggest thing you can do as a Christian is bring a Christian in. That's the biggest thing you can do. That's the one thing that God asks you to do. Not to get too religious on the podcast, but that is the one thing you can do. It's the one thing he asks you to do. And the fact that I'm not doing that to my own son, I'm sure a lot of people will be like, what are you doing? But I just don't feel like it is right as a parent to just force like stuff like that. How about you focus less on that and focus more on healthy habits? You know, because that's something, you know, regardless of your age, your body is something you should always be in tune with. Always. And I haven't. I'm speaking to you guys because somebody came across and explained it to me. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm going to do it. That's why I'm here. I didn't always go to the gym. I didn't always work out. I used to do arm curls with beer cans. Those are my workouts. And I traded beer cans for dumbbells. And I traded Friday night parties for Friday night runs with the family together. With the dog. Everybody goes. So I made some changes. I just made adjustments. And, you know, I've noticed a positive change in my whole family dynamic. And so that's why I'm here with you guys. But this obesity thing has got to be, it's an uncomfortable topic. People get very offended very easily when you talk about body weight and weight. But I don't really care. At the end of the day, it's your own fault. And that's going to offend a lot of people, but it was my own fault. I was 36% body fat. That was my own fault. I can tell you today I'm around 20. So I'm still more than I would like to be. About 22% to be exact. I would like to be about 15 to 13. But regardless, guys, that's not the point, but it's your own fault. And you have to take accountability for that, guys. You can't blame other people for that. You can't blame somebody for your habits and the food you're eating and how often you're eating it and when you're eating it. And I know we're not raised the same. We're not handed the same deck of cards. I know that. Trust me, I do. But you can't have that as an excuse for forever. At some point, you're going to have to say, you know what? Maybe I didn't know in the beginning, but I'm going to go figure this thing out. I'm going to go figure it out for me. I'm going to go figure it out for my kids. Like, you owe it to them. You owe it to you, to them. And I'm not saying everybody has to look a certain way in your house, but what I'm saying is you guys should be practicing. You guys should be knowledgeable. You guys should know what's in food, what you're putting in your body, how often, when you're eating, what your sleep schedule will look like, how much sleep should you be getting, are you getting that sleep? Those are things that, guys, that all plays into obesity. And sleep is one of the most underrated things that has to do with obesity, a healthy sleep habit. And I know insomnia is a big, big deal today. It is. But I would also argue in my video yesterday about this technology, guys, I feel like this stuff goes hand in hand. You get yourself out of this technology gap and this loop that you just stuck on. You start eating a little bit cleaner. And naturally, guys, your body starts functioning the way it was designed to function. We weren't designed to sit on these phones for hours and hours and just video after video, article after article, or post after. Like, this is not what we were designed for, guys. It's just not. It mentally just incapacitates mentally incapacitates us. I can't even say the word. You know what I'm trying to say. But it does. It mentally confuses you. We don't know how to digest certain stuff. There's certain stuff on there that we're seeing that we're not supposed to be seeing. So our brains just don't know how to process this information. So then we're walking around confused, and confusion also leads to irritability. Well, irritability leads to anger, and anger leads to violence. Here we are. I'm telling you guys, this stuff goes hand in hand. I wish I was making it up. I wish I was just this crazy, psychotic, radical guy that was just like, man, he's pretty wild. But I'm not. I feel like I just connect dots. And, in my little life over here down in the Florida, my family's made these changes, guys. We study this stuff, and it's night and day difference. Night and day. And so, if you guys ever have questions, reach out. I'm more than happy to help. That's what this whole thing is for. I'm not trying to get famous. I'm trying to help somebody. I'm trying to help as many people as I can. And I don't care about the followers and stuff. I mean, obviously, it's nice to see that people are engaged and like the message that you're sending. But at the end of the day, that's not necessarily why I'm doing this. And since I've started this, I've had strangers I've never even met started sending me pictures of running with their kids and their plans for the week. And so that's why I'm doing it. This is awesome. This is what we need. And I wish there were more people doing it. I don't scroll much, but I don't see a whole lot of people with a podcast around this kind of information. And I wish there was more. I wish we were spreading, Joe Rogan's a really good podcast, very knowledgeable, and he's very honest. If he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, he's going to tell you. Like, listen, I'm not very educated, but based on what I've learned and what I know in life, this is what I think. But he'll tell you that straight up. Now, they're going to snip that out, and they're going to tell you Joe Rogan's an idiot. This is what he said on this. They're going to leave out the part where he said, hey, based on what I know, well, he frames it up. And, but there needs to be more people we got to be more disciplined. There's nobody coming to save you. There's no magic pill. There's no magic shots. No magic shots, guys. I know this Ozempic thing is insane to me. Holy cow. And we're the only country in the entire world that is using it for weight loss. The only country. And it's not even approved. It's not even FDA approved. We're the only country. Insanity. But that's for a whole different topic. But it has to do with obesity. That's not being disciplined, guys. Taking a shot is not being disciplined. I went from 160 pounds I walk around about 210, 212. And my body fat's about 22%. Now, I know somebody else that started about 310 pounds, and he walks around at 207 to 210. Took him about a year. Actually, it took him about 3 years, to be honest. It took him about 3 years to really make it look the way that you'd want it to look. But it took him about a year and a half to drop the weight to where, he was at a reasonable spot where he could work with it. But it took him about another year and a half to really get that trimmed down. And so I've seen it. I've seen the way it's possible. I've been going to the gym consistently I say consistently, I've had some gaps, obviously, you look at me, but about 5 years, on and off for 5 years. And I've really been going consistently, like day in, day out, 5 days a week for like the last about a year, a little over a year. And I've noticed a complete body transformation in myself. I've noticed just, I mean, I could go on and on about my own personal, but in the time I've been going to the gym, I have seen so many people start, way overweight. And the next thing you know, fast forward 10 months, a year, seeing these people every day. Next thing you know, my wife and I look at her like, damn, see that person? Holy cow, did you see that person? Remember when they first started? Like, guys, you see it. I have never seen somebody go to a gym and try and not get results. I have never seen that happen a day in my life. And I've seen people go to the gym and then leave the gym and go eat like shit and then wonder why they're not getting results. But I've never seen somebody actually put in the work. When I say eat like shit, I'm not talking about diets. Okay, that's the other problem we have in the society is diets. We don't need to be dieting, guys. Diets, you don't need a diet. I'm telling you, you do not need to diet. Dieting is so unhealthy because then you're starving your body of something. Then how is that going to be healthy? You need to figure out how to portion things. You need to figure out what is in what and when you need to eat it and how much and when. It's called don't be lazy. It's called have discipline. Be accountable for your own self. You know what I mean? And again, speaking from experience, I tell myself the same stuff when I don't want to meal prep, when I want to hit the easy button, hit the drive-through. This is what I got to tell myself. So again, I'm not talking down on you guys or down to you guys. This is just straight ahead conversation. But anyways, really hone in on it, guys. Obesity is an issue, and it's an issue that it's your own fault. It's our own fault. It's an issue. We've gotten so lazy as a society. We're so undisciplined as a society. We're so unknowledgeable as a society, uneducated as a society. And there was when I first started, I didn't like running. I didn't like the cardio aspect of it, and so many other people came in my life and changed my perspective on that. So you just got to get started, and people will come into your life, and you'll be surprised. You really will. You'll be surprised on who you meet along your journey, and that those people are going to be who change you. When you start this journey, those are going to be your new circle. So it's scary to start. It's scary to walk away from where you're at. But always understand that the sun's going to come up tomorrow, and that sun's going to be brighter because your circle of people are going to be more like-minded, more positive, more forward-thinking. And those are the people you want to surround you and your kids with. Okay? I enjoy my son going and playing with kids while I go run a 5K. And then when he gets old enough, maybe he'll run it with me. That's enjoyable. That's much more enjoyable than watching him sit around and watch TV all damn day. Or play a game or watch YouTube videos on his phone or whatever, That's why he doesn't have that stuff anymore. Out of sight, out of mind. Go do something. Go be a kid. Let's go use your imagination, And as a parent, I will tell you, you got to step up to the plate, though, when you take this stuff away. Because now you got to go entertain your kid. Now you got to go invest in your kid. You got to talk to him. That's the back end of this is that's what you're going to get. They're going to be bored. Okay, so you need to go figure out hobbies and go teach them about life. Teach them what you know. Have fun with it. That's what it's supposed to be, guys. That's what parenting's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be an experience. It's supposed to be learning. Go do stuff. Go have fun. It doesn't have to mean go spend money. Go on a walk. Go on a nature walk. Go show them where you used to walk. Go show them your favorite spots. Go show them your favorite fishing hole. Go show them how to skip rocks. Go see if you can throw the rock the furthest. Go see if you could go hit the whatever. Just go have fun. Go be, I have a boy, so all I'm naming is boy things. But I'm just saying, go have fun with your child. Go invest in them. Make sure when they're my age and they look back on their childhood, they're like, man, I had so much fun. We were always just doing nothing, but it was so much fun. So something to keep in mind, and also it'll help keep them in shape. And you're not really chasing your kid to look a certain way. What you're chasing is your kid to have certain habits. That's what you should be chasing, and that's what you should be chasing too. You're going to get results in the mirror. You do, but you should be chasing the habits more than the results. The results just come with habits. Follow the habits and focus more on that than anything else. And that's what you should be teaching your kids, because especially you girls, little girls, you don't want to honing, well, you're going to be fat, you're going to be obese. I mean, obviously there's ways to have conversations with kids on this stuff. And I just hope you guys have a little common sense on that as well. And I think you guys do. But obviously you don't want to just hone in on a girl and talk about her weight. But she also needs to understand, hey, you need to take care of your body. This is how you take care of your body. This is what you need to be doing. So that is going to be it for today's podcast, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping in and watching this. If anybody's still watching, don't know why, but appreciate it. And yeah, I didn't want to get too scientific on it today, guys. I just want to have an open discussion. It's an issue. And so just wanted to point out some things, point out the accountability piece that it is us. So thanks for watching, guys. Let's just do better for us, for our families. We got this, guys. We do. We got some discipline in us. We all do. We just got to exercise it, work those muscles every single day, guys. So appreciate you guys stopping in. Steve Hope Dealer Podcast. See you tomorrow. God bless.